him and turned him promptly over to the Bolivian troops. After warning them, "Do not kill that man. You'll make him a martyr. Don't do it." So what did they promptly do? They put him up against a wall and shot him. Thus did Che, a failed revolutionary, ascend to the T-shirt pantheon of communist heroes and saints. The Green Berets were then sent back down there in '68, once the team was rebuilt, and the one I was on, was sent back down there to clean it up. Che was gone, but he had a band of people to complete the job of dismantling Che's organization. And this novel recounts that event and Carter's reaction to it, participation in it. The book goes on. The ultimate question Sergeant Carter, the novel's young protagonist, must answer is not, will the shock of serving in combat change him? That's a stupid question. The question becomes, will he ever be able to find a path to a life where he can make peace with who he is and what he's done? Will he stay in the military and become a successful warrior, or will he choose to return to a civilian status? Though this is a work of fiction, The Green Light draws extensively on my experiences as Special Forces Communications Sergeant in that very unit, 1854, although in the book it's changed 45, during the late 1960s. This is me when I just earned my red flash, and I got my sergeant's stripes, and I thought I was a big bug, and I hadn't done anything yet except survive training. And I was coming home to through Mitchell Airport. My sister took a photo of me getting off out of the plane. The Green Light continues the story of Stu Carter, who was introduced as a preteen boy in the novels Up Harvey's Creek and further developed in Fare Thee Well, Harvey's Creek. As the boy struggles to come to grips with a family in crisis. Precursors to the Green Light. Okay? The crisis in the family was triggered. I'm going backwards through here now. Back to here real quick. Our crisis was triggered by the PTSD his own father, Stu Carter Sr., that's him, suffered as a result of combat in World War II. He served the entire war in combat. He went away when he was 16, comes home when he's 21. 16-year-old through World War II, becoming a man, he was a mess. But he was doing the best he could, like most all the World War II vets. His experience in that conflict is the subject of my book, The Seventh Cruise. That smoke and flame stuff was his ship, the Hancock. It was kamikaze multiple times off Iwo Jima on a very bad day, late in the war, and in one bad day, on that day, he lost over 250 crewmates. The ship was reported sunk by the Japanese, but the captain and the men of the ship kept it afloat, patched up the holes, and after 4 hours were receiving Hellcats and Corsairs back onto the deck and keeping them in the fight. I mean, these guys were the heroes. The Seventh Cruise is based on the experience of a young sailor aboard this ship, the aircraft carrier Hancock. One was kamikazed on a very bad day in February 1945. He survived. Here's a picture of my dad, of Stu Carter Sr. This is in the book. When I took him down to on an honor flight to Washington, D.C. to the World War II Memorial when he was 88. A few years before he passed away. He was a kamikaze survivor. He wore that hat all the time. He was terribly proud of his World War II service. These 4 books, right there, they're Stu Carter books, of which The Green Light is the last. Those series, they are not in serial form. They can be read independent of each other, are all connected by a common theme. Combat changes people. As a child on Harvey's Creek, young Stu Jr. cannot understand what demons his father must wrestle with. Later, as a veteran himself, he has to learn to fight his own. Writing The Green Light enabled me to better cope with my own PTSD. That still happens. Yesterday, my wife said, "I'm so glad we have this big king-size bed." And I'm thinking, oh, really? She said, "Yes, because I'm safe. When you start flailing around, flailing and kicking and punching, I'm over here. I can just talk and you stop, you wake up." And I never thought, I have never thought what a difference it makes to have that support. My mother was a wonderful woman, but her idea of supporting my father when he was nutso was, snap out of it, get over it. The past is past. Forget about it. All that kind of stuff. I've given talks on PTSD to, like, the Navy Club of Wisconsin and civic organizations in there. And I love doing that because I can understand it. I didn't reconcile with my father till after I got out. Then I could understand a lot more about what he had gone through, what he was dealing with. All the books that I've written, that's all of them, including a little children's book I wrote for my 7-year-old granddaughter who's now at the university. Yeah, she's going to American University in D.C. I said, "How are you doing?" She says, "I'm good at college, Grandpa." He texted me back today. She doesn't know squat about college yet. She just got there. But anyway, all my books are available on Amazon, though my publisher, Headline Books Incorporated, or directly from me. I've got bunches of them. I've got these up here. If anybody would like one, you can leaf through them. If you'd like to buy one, fine. If you don't, that's okay too. It doesn't matter to me that much. I just want to share this story. I think this story is a great American story. We have a tendency in this country, when a war happens, to round up a bunch of young men and now women and send them off and bring them home and say, "All right, just get a job at Walmart or something." And these people are carrying things with them. There's one veteran suicide almost every hour. 22 suicides a day in the United States of veterans. They're carrying too much. And so if the series, if you might even know somebody who's gone through or is and will forever have to deal with it, I can help sometimes some guys. For me, writing was like therapy. Okay? It lifted off a load. And I do talks, my talk on PTSD is called Healing Through Storytelling. And if you are, or if you know someone who's dealing with that, you might just suggest try writing it down. Barry Sadler wrote it in songs. Some wrote poetry. I write novels. Write them in scraps. On scrap paper, write them as memoirs. You can, any kind of writing, but I found for me, writing down what I did and then reading those words out loud felt like a weight going off my shoulders. It was just like a physical lifting. And so some people that doesn't do. It won't help. It's not a silver bullet. But it does help enough that I've got some wonderful feedback on emails and things. So, just a suggestion. Most everybody knows somebody, an uncle, a brother, a cousin, or somebody. By the way, that nephew that I told you tried to join the Green Berets twice and washed out because of psych problems, committed suicide in Milwaukee a couple of years ago. This is the real world. It's novels. But this is my storyline, And if you're interested, pick it up. If you have any questions, just ask me right now or anytime, and I'll be glad to answer, because I'm finished. That's where you can contact me. KarlStewartAuthor@gmail.com or KarlStewart.net. And I think that's it.
Let's put that one back up and we'll get a
Put it
picture.
back up. Oh, I went way too far, didn't I?
No, okay.
Remember those good old days? I wake up
I
every
can
morning
get
and
it.
wonder who just got killed.
I can get from here, Carl.
There you go.
Did your dad get to see your books published?
You know, my dad, he passed away, he was 93. This is based on my great-grandfather, my dad's grandpa, his life. He saw this. Matter of fact, Dad was in a hospital bed when I had the manuscript for him, and I read it to him after his 4th stroke. When he was in the hospital, I read it to him. I said, did I get Granddad? Does this sound like Granddad? That's what I call him. He's my great-grandfather. He said, son, you got him. You got him. If somebody were to walk in the room and see Seabird and they'd read your book, to say, that's him. And so I appreciate it. That's what I love doing. I love to research. For
Yep.
Charlie's Wings, which is my grandfather's story, my grandfather, my dad's dad was a veteran of World War I. He went off of West Virginia farm and became a pilot in France in World War II in 1918. And he came back with problems. It just seemed to be in the family. But so it was. Yeah, there was another question here. Somebody was saying something.
But it sounds like you have a family of heroes.
Oh no, I think there's just a family of naive people who go off and do things that if they had strong parents, it probably would have said, "Don't you dare!"
Yeah.
But we did anyway.
Yeah.
And they do say that PTSD does often, that whatever causes that does often repeat down a family. My grandfather, my father, and myself have all had to deal with it. Nobody, probably more than my father. He was in it all 5 years. My grandfather was there 1918 in France, when they were just learning how to fly planes. Oh my. That's a great story. This is a lot of fun. And then that was mine. There's, by the way, the little tidbit, there's mistakes on every cover. But I don't do the covers. The company does. And I battle with them over the covers. If you've ever been in the military, there's a Huey. It's an extended Huey carrying an entire team, an A-team. But the doors are closed. I have never seen one of those with the doors closed. They're always open. They make them with doors, I'm sure. But I never saw them closed. And the same on every book. Other questions, comments? Yeah.
I imagine you had your training at Fort Bragg.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What period of time was that?
1968, we were based there. After I became the Special Forces, our base was Fort Bragg. 70, 67, 68, 69.
I was there in